seeded wrestler at 65 kilos. She's had a great 2019, won the Daegu. This is how she's been able to just pile up the ranking points. Won the Daegu, took a bronze medal home from the Koloff. The Regan, she finished 5th. Just missed out last year in the World Championships. Really heartbreak city when you look at it for Molinari. She missed out on a bronze medal on criteria, and that was a tough pill for her to swallow during the off season. Anytime you have it come down to a criteria decision like she did, to miss out on earning that senior medal. But like so many wrestlers, they use it for extra motivation throughout the course of the season. She has spent a ton of time training for this moment in these next 6 minutes.
Molinari trains at the University of Iowa with the Hawkeyes, with the Hawkeye Wrestling Club. Her coach, Mark Perry, said that she is just one of the most vicious and tough wrestlers that he ever had the opportunity to coach. And we all are looking at the University of Iowa to see if they're going to be adding a women's NCAA program anytime soon.
Iowa, one of the powerhouses in college wrestling back at the United States. Folk-style wrestling at the college level in the U.S. Molinari, one of 4 returning world medalists for the United States. We talked about those expectations for the Americans. 2 #1 seeds with Molinari as Ukraine shoots in, but Molinari so strong, able to come back on her.
She really needs to start stuffing that head and getting her hips real heavy on her neck, pulling up on that elbow, working to try and get around behind. If you're going to be in that position, try and score from it, but she's also doing a really great job at neutralizing.
So a pretty good look there by Ukraine, coming in with really the first scoring threat. Kolyadenko comes up just empty. We go back to their feet. But Sarah Hildebrandt and Molinari were the 2 Americans to earn the top seeds. Hildebrandt has been eliminated. She lost earlier today. So now the remaining 1 seed for the U.S. is Molinari. The Americans with 2 semifinalists in this session. Remember, Jakari Winchester will wrestle for a gold medal later tonight for the U.S.
Kolyadenko, she has a really good throwing position, so she's really going to look at trying to jack up Molinari and being able to work and get underneath her. You'll see that Molinari is going to try and stay low, keep her hips low. She's going to keep working on her shots and driving, being aggressive.
Whistle before the shot. Shot clock goes into effect, and it's going to be on Ukraine. So the shot clock is a 30-second clock, again, upper left-hand corner. If Ukraine does not score, then the point goes to the American. If either wrestler scores, the clock is wiped out. It's a way to force action in freestyle. I was a little surprised to see Ukraine put on the shot clock. She was the one who has had the 2 really attacks in this first period. So Molinari gets the 1. Controlling the center. And that'll be a slip.
Molinari is so heavy on Ukraine's head, and you can see that Ukraine's really starting to bend down a lot. Molinari needs to follow those through to her shots.
Big club there delivered by the Ukrainian. Molinari controlling the center for the U.S.
And you can hear her coaches screaming, get to your single, get on your head and get to the single. Start pushing the pace.
Blue attack. Zone blue. Zone blue.
Close to getting a possible step out. Then Ukraine comes back in. Molinari, though, not budging her ground. Controlling the presence on the mat. Final few moments, and that's how the period will end. So very physical first 3 minutes of competition, and Molinari with a 1-0 lead on the passivity point.
Yes, if you were to look at the University of Iowa, they would say they have this style of wrestling called the Iowa style, really tough and aggressive and intense, and Molinari embraces that and embodies that in every sense of the word.
And wouldn't you say that might be the strength of Kolyadenko as well? She certainly, as you mentioned, heavy on those hands, clubs, tries to get that hand to set up her positioning.
Koliadenko, she is completely lethal with her throws, and you can see that Molinari is trying to stay away from that. Ukraine, I would really like to see her get in there and start setting up her position so that she can get dominant and figure out a way to get underneath Molinari.
Molinari comes right out on the whistle. 1-0 United States. Low shot by Ukraine, and she has it high. And she has good position on the map. Molinari trying to hop around, maybe give up just the one instead of two, and that's exactly what she is going to do. Realized she was in some trouble, and Koliadenko gets right back in it, tying it at 1-0.
And Koliadenko, once she got in on that leg, she was so calm and cool. There was no flurry to try and finish. She was able to just walk it out of bounds.
Here comes Molinari back in.
Ukraine needs to stay heavy on her head, while at the same time, Molinari wants to try and lift her.
Molinari with those Ukrainian legs squeezing, trying to pop that neck free.
She just needs to get her head out of there.
And
there she does.
And gets two. Molinari goes up 3-1 for the U.S.
Blue open, open blue.
Referee telling the Ukrainian to open up underneath.
Action red.
Molinari trying to get that grip established, now working on that left shoulder, but just can't find any crevice. And they go back up onto their feet.
Koliadenko has some really solid and strong parterre position. You could see Molinari had a hard time getting underneath. Part of the art of that is keeping your body low and heavy to the mat. So Ukraine, you know, she's going to start trying to change her levels and get her shots off, because she now needs to score 2 points.
A lot of time left. And a point to the U.S. A caution has been given to Ukraine. 3 cautions is what you're allowed. Now a straight-on double, and it's deep. Penetrating drive by Ukraine, and this is going to get some points. So Ukraine comes right back after the caution. Koliadenko trailing by 1, trying to get some exposure points near the edge.
And you can see that Koliadenko has that leg. She's actually in a leg Turk position, which is incredibly lethal for Molinari right now.
We're going to find out how flexible the American is. The torque. Look at that waist trying to belly up on the mat against that leg Turk, which is firmly in for Koliadenko. And a nice job by the United States. It could have been a lot worse for Molinari there.
Koliadenko, yes, she was in on that leg Turk. She just needed to lift it high and be able to get Molinari to expose her back past that 90-degree.
60 seconds on the clock, and a tight one for the right to wrestle for gold.
And Molinari knows that Ukraine is going to come, and Ukraine has to come. There, she's down by 1 point, and there is that shot. Heavy on her lips, heavy on her hips.
Driving Molinari out of bounds. And this will not be a step out. You are not allowed to push out. You can have a wrestler step out if it's part of that offensive attack that you had started.
The pace of this match, there's 47 seconds left. You know, both of the wrestlers, you can see how hard they're breathing. Both of their forearms have lactic acid in it. Right now, this is the battle of wills.
So what do you think on this, Sally? Obviously, the Ukraine's going to challenge it. They want the point for the step out. They're saying this was a straight-on shot, trying to set something up further. What do you think?
To me, it looks like she's just driving out, and Molinari had that defense.
Critical review with 47 seconds to go in this semifinal match. This has been a fun one.
You gotta stay in the center. You gotta get your legs back.
Taking a look at the video. Challenge underway. Each corner is given 1 challenge. Now, if you lose the challenge, you give your opponent a point. So this is a challenge that was well worth it for Ukraine. She's going to have to score anyway, so they have nothing to lose by by losing this challenge.
That's right. Ukraine, if she wins this challenge, the score is going to be 4-4 with criteria. And if she doesn't, she'll be down by 2. Either way, Ukraine's going to have to keep pushing and is going to keep coming. So Molinari, I'm sure her corner, Coach Mark Perry, is out there telling her that there's going to be some fire coming from the next 47 seconds.
Well, this review is taking a long time. And here is what they are taking a look at. Is this 1 point? Should it be a step out? The call on the mat was no points. Ukraine issued the challenge, and they lose the challenge. So Molinari keeps the lead, and the referee is going to jump in very quickly. I think they had an issue with the clock. I don't think the clock started, so they're going to get that situated, and here we go. Hang on, final 42 seconds.
Molinari, she's going to need to push into Ukraine. Ukraine keeps driving in and getting heavy on her head, getting into those doubles. She has to neutralize her.
A low shot by KOLIADENKO. Trying to switch it to that double, coming over the top. Waterfall position by Molinari. And now a scramble situation in the closing seconds. 20 seconds to go. Molinari underneath. A takedown here by Ukraine will win this semifinal match. Repositions and rolls over the American. Ties it up with the back exposure, and we're tied at 5. Clock winding down.
Ukraine never stopped coming. She never stopped driving. She never stopped getting her shots.
Now the caution should be the criteria here, Sally, shouldn't it? There was a caution issue.
Yeah, that's right. That's what she's trying to say to her corner.
Yeah, there was a caution given earlier in that second period.
And they just challenged that, so you'll see that it's coming up. There was a challenge requested.
So as that match ended, I was just replaying in my head, and I remember there was a caution given early in that second period.
That's right, on Ukraine.
And the criteria, again, is the biggest move. That's not a factor here. They both had 2-point moves. The second is the caution. The third is who scored that last point. So with that caution, technically, it would be Molinari with the criteria.
That's right. That's right. And you can see that she's over there pointing and saying, look at my corner. They're challenging that.
So this is not a video challenge whatsoever. This is simply going back to the scorebook that they keep at the tables to see if that caution was registered. You see the yellow square, it was with our crew up by the Ukrainian's name.
That was interesting.
I don't understand that one.